Checker Pro Joe here on the Checker Pro Radio Show. It is so great to have you here. I'm so excited because today we're going to be talking about something that many of you don't know is available, and that is to actually get your concrete that isn't leveled. Have you ever stubbed your toe, tripped, or just said, what am I going to do? Because there's such a big difference between one of my concrete slabs and the other on my driveway, sidewalk, walkway, pool deck. So I brought an expert in here. Zachary Zaras. Zach, how are you doing today?
Doing quite well. How about you?
I'm doing well. Level Concrete is the name of your business. Before we get into your
Yes, sir.
why, because I love talking about that, why you do what you do, can you tell our audience a little bit about Level Concrete and what you actually do to help the homeowner?
Yeah, absolutely. So Level Concrete is a company. We come in and we lift and level settled concrete, so driveways, sidewalks, patios, anything that's settled down, whether due to the soils or water getting in there, we inject a polyurethane and level it up. Oftentimes way cheaper than replacement. And we also have started doing foundation repair as well. So we can do the similar processes on foundation. So if your houses are settled, or buildings or anything for that matter, we can level those things out, at least stabilize them.
So if the foundation of anything, pretty much your home or your driveway, walkway, pool deck, the concrete, if you will, you guys can put in a foam, you inject it, and it literally levels it. It is really cool when you can see a video of this. It's a neat process, and it's much better than having to replace your concrete. You don't always have to. So you'll need to call Zachary and his team over at Level Concrete to see what needs to be done. But in many cases, you guys can level it. So let's talk about your why, because it's really important. We know what you do. The question is why do you do what you do? Is there a backstory about how you got into it? And why do you love doing what you do?
Yeah, so interesting. My wife and I bought our first house in 2015. And like many people, many of our customers, the concrete was already messed up and we didn't think anything of it. It was common place to see it everywhere. And it wasn't until I believe 4th of July one year, my nephew tripped on that concrete probably 4 or 5 times. And, he's 2 years old. I was telling him, hey kid, pick your feet up, but they don't listen, they're two. And so I said, I got to get out and I got to do some research and figure out what I can do. I knew the neighbor had replaced their concrete. I didn't like the way that looked. And I found a solution and a process that would fix it before I ever found anybody that did the work. And so that point on, I said, hey, this is an opportunity that people need. And I jumped on board and I found other companies, and realized their customer service wasn't great. And so I said, hey, I can offer great product and treat people as they should be treated, as I wanted to be treated. And that's what we do. We go out there and I enjoy every day helping people out, and fixing people's concrete without them to replace it. And hey, it keeps concrete out of the landfill. So it's good for the environment on the long run.
Sure. So you're a problem solver. You love helping the community, your neighbor, the homeowner with this. And it's really kind of a neat trick, even though it's not a trick. It's kind of neat to be able to say, hey, don't worry about this. It's not as bad as it looks. Our team can come out and within a couple hours, we can actually fix, a problem. So often people will have on their driveway maybe 4, maybe 6 different pieces, right? And we'll
Yep.
call them slabs, and they're divided usually in these quadrants, or if it's not 4, there's more. And sometimes one of these dips down. It may seem like one of them is pitched up, which may or may not be the case. But either way, you guys can go in there and just level it up. And when you do, explain the process a little bit. When you do that, it'll last a long time or maybe even be permanent for most people in their homes.
Yeah, absolutely. So the product we use is a polyurethane. So although it's basically a rigid plastic when it's in the ground, it's not going to go anywhere. It doesn't off gas or leak out or leach any materials into the environment. So it's an inert material once it's under there. But we come in, those slabs, we can just lift them back up into place. Or in some cases, tree roots lift an adjacent slab and we can kind of lift and go up over a tree root. So we can oftentimes save your concrete more often than not. We can save it and level it out. Now that product that we put in is a permanent product. The only thing that would stop it from being a permanent repair is more trees, more tree roots, or continued soil erosion or weak soil below the surface, all of which we try to address as much as possible. But there is maintenance items required by anybody, but we offer a long-term warranty that if it does move, we come out and fix it.
Yeah, no, it is a fantastic product. It's a great service you offer. And I want to thank you so much, Zach, for joining me here on the radio show today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.